So now moving on to the last question of this seminar. Um, as we all know that what are the students basically want to know what are the common challenges that every CA student face and how they can curb that.
Okay, so with this thing, I actually want everyone to like pay attention because more than challenges, these would be the mistakes that I would want to like warn everyone to not make this, because then you'll regret it if you don't take corrective measures beforehand. And I really wish that someone would have informed these things to me before, so that I would have avoided all these blunders. Okay, first and the most foremost thing is the thing that I said and that all of us said, is that when you're watching your videos, do not just watch them. Please study along with it. It doesn't matter if you're not studying. You don't have to study for like 5 hours. You can just study for 2 hours. Just make sure that you're studying along with it. Second blunder that students do is that they have a very fluid schedule that I discussed, that you should be very sure that in this month I want to finish my accounts, and then you will not go another day, right? Doing that same thing. Okay. Third thing is that you have to always remember that all your subjects need to go together. Okay. It's better to have 80% preparation in all subjects rather than having a 10 rather than having 100% preparation and a 30% preparation, right? This is not CBSE. This is not how school exams were. This is not like you want a good percentage. This is that you have to make sure that all the subjects you're able to pass in it. Fourth thing is that what students do and what other people, all my co-panelists here mentioned, is that when you're doing your practical subjects, I have seen a lot of students doing this. They think that because, in my pen drive classes, while taking my classes, I solved those questions, I don't need to solve them again. Listen, no, that's not how you study. Okay, when you're doing your own study, you sit down and you write those questions. This is the time when you're studying, that is when you're actually going to solve each and every question. And why am I saying this? Okay, I have my own first hand experience to share this with you all, is that when my paper one was there, accounts paper, I looked at the paper 15 minutes. I was so happy because I knew I've seen all these questions. I knew I've done all these questions. But when I actually sat down to solve those questions, in 45 minutes, I was on the verge of crying because I could solve them till a certain point. But after that, there was this one point in each of these questions that I couldn't remember because I never solved them after doing my classes. So, one thing is not knowing the question, but other thing which makes you actually want to cry your eyes out is that I know this question, I know I've done this question, I know this question happened in my class, but I'm not able to solve it because I made this foolish mistake of not, just reading those questions rather than solving those questions, right? Fifth thing that I would say is that please have a very strong support system. You either, it can be your parents, it can be your siblings, it can be your cousins, it can be your friends, it can be your boyfriend, girlfriends, whatever. Just have someone you can confide in. Okay, I found that very helpful because at points I felt like, I'm not able to do this, and you cannot be strong all the time. Obviously, CA is a very tough course. It is a very rigorous studies, and you have to study a lot, and there's a lot of pressure, and there's this peer pressure, societal pressure. So always have a try to like find someone you can confide in. It can also be a a peer who is giving the exams, or along with you. And how that helps is that when you're feeling low, they can help you out. And because honestly, when I was giving my exams, I used to literally tell my mom, I don't want to give this exam. I just want to skip this exam because I've had too much. I just want one day where I can breathe, right? And honestly, I would have skipped that exam if it weren't for my mom, because she was like, you know what? If you skip it right now, you'll have to give it in 6 months. Do you want to go through this again, right? On the same line, I have seen so many students doing this. In my examination hall, I used to see so many students doing this, missing exams because they thought that they screwed up one of their papers. How can you decide that? Like, why would you do that? I have seen so many students, they'll come and they give accounts and law, but their law paper went very bad. So they just make this decision that I'm going to skip this attempt and I won't give my cost and tax paper. Like, why are you doing this thing? Anyway, your attempt is going to happen, right? So by losing that exam, what good is going to come out of it? And one thing that a lot of us forget is that ICA, there is a 80% chance that if I screwed up my paper, 80% of the other people also screwed up that paper. So ICI would actually end up giving you grace marks for it, and you might actually score well in it. But I don't get it why students think that, if I just, this paper was not good and it was not meeting my expectations, I'll just miss the other ones. Because taking my own example, my accounts paper, I thought I couldn't even get a 40 in that. Okay. And I got an 80 in it. And I'm not saying I'm some unaware person. I am just saying that ICI is someone you cannot predict, right? ICI gave me marks for God knows what. They might have given me marks because I attempted those questions. My answers did not come, but they gave me stuff marking. But if I would have just thought that, my first paper in itself went so bad and I had the option to, defer that attempt because I had January and, I could have done that. But I actually, someone like my friends and my seniors and my parents told me that just give all the papers and then we'll see what's going to happen. So the same thing I'm going to tell you is that even if you think that you've screwed up a paper, do not miss the next paper. Do not miss the attempt, because anyway it's going to get counted. Just think of it like a mock test. Then, you're just giving and you're going through the pressure and you're just giving it. And actually 60-70% you might actually be wrong about what you thought your paper went. Okay. Next thing, when you're giving your paper, and I've seen so many students doing it, and what Smaran also said, do not bring your books to your examination center. You will see a lot of students bringing their paper and they're revising and they're flipping through notes. Don't do that. Why are you doing that? Your brain needs to rest for at least 10 minutes. It needs at least that half an hour to, because you have to realize your brain is going to work for the next 3 hours. Okay, it's going to go through a lot of pressure. You can at least give it 30 minutes of chill, watch a YouTube video, just watch something, watch a stand-up comedy, or just talk to a friend. And you don't have to, do not take your books with you in the examination center, right? The next thing that students do is that when you're writing a paper, okay, I'll cover this thing also. How do you write your paper? Because a lot of people don't know actually how to write their paper. First of all, there is no such thing as following the way the questions are given in the sheet. Okay, ICI does not have any mandatory thing that you have to give question 1 and then question 2. You have to see that there's a psychological factor which goes on. So what you do is you pick up the best question in the 5-6 questions you have. You pick up the best question and that is the first question you solve. Why do I do this? 2 reasons. First, it creates a psychological effect on the person who's checking your paper. If the first 2 answers you've written and they're flawless and they're all neat and there's no cutting, it just creates this impression on the person who's checking your paper that, okay, this student knows what they're doing, right? And then they're a little lenient when they're checking the other questions. And also sometimes, they can be good and they'll be like, this person knows their question. It's just this question, they just did this small mistake, I can give them marks. Secondly, what happens is that when I'm doing a question, I know I have this, I feel better about it myself. I feel like, now I have 40 marks which are secured, right? So I stop panicking in the first hour. If I've secured my 40 marks of the questions that I know, I've secured that and I don't have to worry about it later on, right? The third thing is that when you're writing a paper, please make sure that you're not putting all the questions together in the sheet itself. Even if you have this much space left, doesn't matter. Next question, do it from a fresh sheet. Why? Because you don't want to give any reason to the examiner to miss your question or to skip the part you've done. Even it's helpful for you when you're checking if you've attempted all your questions. You can easily see because each page would have a separate part or I have a separate question. Okay, please, I know it is very climate, for the climate it's wrong that you're leaving so much paper, but maybe you can skip that thing. Skip your consciousness night now and focus on getting your marks. So always make sure. And one more tip I'll give you is that when you're writing a question, don't write it in the sideline, rather write it in bold letters. Take 2 lines and write in bold question number this. You don't want to give any reason to the examiner to get pissed because they're not able to see what question you're doing. You do not want them to judge what question this person has done. You want to make the examiner's life easy. Okay, so please keep these things in your mind, right? And lastly, a common mistake that students do is that they compare. You are never supposed to compare your study, your growth, your syllabus with anyone else. Every person is different. Please do not get, we get very anxious that, it's been 6 months, my friend has completed all my syllabus and I've just done 50% of it. So what? I have my own pace. This person has his own pace. I cannot compare. right? Because when I start comparing, I start having anxiety, I start panicking, I start thinking that I cannot give this attempt, right? So do not ever compare with your friends. All relationship that you should have with your peers who are giving C exams with you should not be about what and how much they've studied. It should be about doubts and how I can study this thing. Okay, please limit your interaction with them regarding this thing. Okay, and one more thing is your social media. So you will hear everyone saying that give up your social media and don't watch don't unsubscribe to Netflix and all. So see, again, this depends on you. If you feel like your Instagram is taking too much of your time, then please prioritize. If Instagram is what is important for you, stalking people or getting your CA intermediate or CA final or whatever done, right? And then that's all you have to figure out. If Instagram and knowing what is happening in people's life is more important to you, then go ahead, watch your Instagram. Do not, there's no point uninstalling it, because then your mind will stay there. But if you feel that your priority is giving your exams right now, you will actually yourself uninstall all these apps. Similarly, the same thing goes for your Netflix and all that thing. Would Honestly speaking, once you're done with your exams, you can binge. You have so much time to binge. You have so much time to use Instagram and all. But you just have those 6, 7, 8 months to clear this exam. So focus on that rather than having all these distractions, right? And also, do not limit your social interactions. You will hear, obviously, I would say that go and party every day, but I wouldn't say that just isolate yourself and stay in your do not get out of your house at all. You need to have some social interaction, otherwise you'll go crazy if you're studying for 9 months straight without having any social interaction with anyone, right? But also make sure that you're not spending hours on phone calls every day talking to your friends. For the last 2 months, I completely stopped picking up anyone's calls. I told everyone that, what, I have to study. I cannot talk to anyone for 1 hour on phone, or I cannot meet people, right? So you have to, this all, no one can motivate you. This all comes down to what your priorities are. Once you're clear with what my priority is partying with my friends my priority, or is giving my exam my priority? Or you also, if it's not even about priority, you have to see which one can be deferred by 2 months. Can my exams be deferred in 2 months, or can meeting my friend be deferred by 2 months? Obviously, I think that is what will answer your question. So that is all I would want to say, that keep these things in your mind, and if anyone else has anything to add, please do.
Yeah, I would like to add a few things. Of course, Nishika had like comprehensively covered all the aspects, but I feel one or two points can be added. Firstly, don't love any exam. Okay, you have 8 papers, give equally importance to every paper. If you fail in one, then you have to give the whole group again. There are possibilities of getting an exemption in a paper or two, but that too you can claim only two exemptions. So don't love any particular exams. Of course, we like. So, for example, I was fond of taxation and accounts, but that doesn't mean I will not study law or costing. Okay, so don't love any single exam. Secondly, I would like to add that do not leave any question while you are appearing for the paper. You have 100 marks paper, so if you don't know anything about the answer, just try and write anything. You have taken classes, and I'm sure you can write at least 2 or 3 lines or anything like that. There are chances that the examiner will give you 1 or 2 marks for that, and that's the difference between a 39 and a 40, or a 59 and a 60. So remember this thing. Thirdly, I would say just revise before the exam, and you should know the importance of revision. How much you study before doesn't count. If you can't revise a chapter in the last day, then there are high chances that you will not be able to recall that in the exam. So try and just revise the full syllabus at least once in that 1.5 days. For smaller exams like law or audit, you can even try and give, for example, 1.5 revision or 2 revision. 1.5 will mean that you can revise the difficult chapters again, which have higher weightage. Okay. And next would be don't aim for 100. Okay. This is a chartered accountancy exam. This is a professional exam. You will not get 100 here. Okay. So if you, like I said previously also, if you are not able to attempt or 10 marks exam paper, or like the exam is really lengthy and you cannot complete the whole paper, then don't panic. First, your target should be completing 40 marks of paper. The next target should be 60 marks of paper. 40 marks will let you, like, you will pass the exam if you get 40, and 60 will get you an exemption. You don't know need more marks than that. Above 60, everything is a bonus for you. So first aim for 40 and then 60. Okay. Next is fill the answer sheet correctly. We usually don't give importance to that, and I've seen students in the exam hall saying that I have filled the OMR circles incorrectly. I need another sheet. The exam centers won't provide you. They are the government schools, and mostly they are the government teachers. They won't provide you anything extra. There are very less chances that you will be provided an extra answer sheet. So if you have filled the suppose for MCQs you have filled the OMR incorrectly, you won't have any other chance, and there are high chances that you will get either zero. For example, if you skip the fifth answer and the answer for fifth you have marked in the sixth, then all the next answers would be wrong. So you have to give high importance to in while filling the MCQs and even the basic particulars like name and the roll number. Nextly, do not use any religious symbol on the paper. These are not allowed. Do not make any special symbols on the paper, which for highlighting your answer also, that those things are actually not allowed in the exam. Okay, and next would be like Nishika has already said that limit your social media time. Okay, so you have to actually in the last months you should actually limit yourself. You should know how much hours I'm putting on the social media. Even if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you should, and if he or she is coming in between your CA inter. Firstly, if it's a true relationship, it he or she should not come between you and your exams. But if the person is coming between, you should think twice: is the relationship right for me? Because after 2 or 3 years, that person might be doing CA or might be doing something else, and he or she will be successful in her or his career. But you will be giving your intermediate exams after every 6 months. एंड रिमेंबर सीए ऐसी डिग्री है कि सीए बन गए तो पैसा है, जब तक सीए नहीं बने जब तक वैल्यू जीरो है, कोई 4 लाख रुपए भी नहीं देगा साल के, ठीक है। और अगर किसी का रेगुलर कॉलेज नहीं है तो कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा, कहीं अकाउंटेंट की जॉब भी नहीं मिलती आसानी से। आई हैव सीन पीपल when I go to audit, I meet people like these who were not able to clear their CA and they are working for 10 or 20,000 a month, and that's not a big amount कि जो किसी के भी मन में नहीं होगा कि मैं हाँ अपने फ्यूचर में 10,000 रुपये महीने कमाऊँ। तो उस चीज का ध्यान रखना। और एक चीज और, there's a big thing and that is depression. While you're studying for the 9 months, there are times in between, like after like in the starting 3 or 4 months, you are very zealous and you have all the energy, like I am finishing my classes, I'm doing everything. But after you miss your deadlines and after you see that everyone is enjoying, none of my friends are studying, they are in colleges, they have exams after 6 months and they are enjoying their lives, they are all over the social media and all that. Remember, you're doing CA and you choose this course, not because of anyone else, because of you. And you have to study here. Everyone else faces the same thing. It's not a thing that you only are facing. I have faced it. All the other co-panelists have faced it. While you're in the 9 months or the 15 months period, you have to work really hard to clear these two papers. I always say to everyone that this intermediate is like a T20. Okay, you have to study and study and study. You don't have to wait. You don't get time to wait. Even if you get deviated in between for about 15 or 20 days, everything is gone. So you should know how to prioritize your things, and you should make a strict timetable which you should try and follow. Of course, give yourself few days in case like few days in case you're not able to complete your deadlines. So 1 or 2 buffer days can be kept while making your timetable, but you cannot waste a lot of time, because if you waste a month or so, then you will actually waste your 6 months of your life. Or if you're planning for 2 groups at once and if you waste a month, then probably you can only give one group at this time and the next group in the other attempt. So remember these things. If Smaran or Rishant has any other thing to add, they can go ahead.
I just have 2 things to add. First of all, during the exam, when you're writing, as Nishika told, use as much white space as possible. Like, don't keep your points too close together. Leave a line between each points. Here, don't tell me you're wasting paper, you're cutting trees, all that. Don't think about that for now. Right now, you want marks. So think about your marks more than trees. Trees you save later after becoming chartered accountant. plant, whatever you want to do, you do. Right now, leave space as much as, if your handwriting is not that neat, no. If you leave a lot of space, it'll look neat. So that is one point. Second point is, after the exam, I see a lot of people coming out and discussing the answer. Now, this is the worst thing that you can do, because if your answer does not match with your friend's answer, what is going to happen is you are going to doubt yourself. Okay? You won't think that the other person is wrong. You think you are wrong, no matter how much you study. And that will affect your next exam. So, found useful in this is, in the exam hall only, I crumpled the question paper and threw it in the dustbin. Okay? Or recycled it, whatever. So, this, when I come out of the exam hall, and my friend asked me, what did you do for question 2? I'll be like, I don't remember. Even if I remember the side of the page I wrote it, I'll tell him I don't remember. Because that will stop the conversation there only. I'm not being rude also. And if he tells, show me a question paper, I'll be like, I threw it. So, show me a question paper. In the sense, I used to write answers. That's why I asked. I threw the question paper. I don't have it. And if you can, for some time, stay back 5 minutes in the exam hall, talk to your friends about anything other than the exam. Because that will give you a little life. Because 3 hours you're sitting there thinking about your exam. Before that day also you're studying the whole day. So little free time is required with people, I feel. So talk to your friends about anything under the sun other than studies for 5-10 minutes and go home. That will give you a little, break in between, and then help you, motivate you for the next exam. And do not, under any circumstance, discuss that paper on that day, because that will only give you negative vibes. That has never helped any person. I have seen so many people who discussed the paper. Paper, according to them, went badly, but when the results came, they got exemption in that paper. Now, if they had studied, they would have got rank in the remaining papers. But they thought paper went bad, so their whole mood went. So, for the love of God, do not discuss the paper after that day. Discuss after all the 8 papers. That is your will and wish. After 8 papers, do whatever you want. But on that day, please don't discuss. Just go home. Talk something else, go home. That's my 2 thoughts. Yeah. Nishant,
Since most of the points are covered by my panelist members only, just I would like to say that be confident. जो भी आपने पढ़ा है बहुत सही किया है. एग्जाम डे पे बस इतना ध्यान रखना है आपका कोई भी क्वेश्चन निकल भी निकल, चाहे वो अकाउंट्स हो, कोई भी प्रैक्टिकल सब्जेक्ट हो, बी कॉन्फिडेंट, उसके लिए स्पेस छोड़ दो और आगे बढ़िए. और मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट सेकंड पॉइंट आई वुड से इज दैट एक क्वेश्चन के अगर 4 पार्ट्स है, चारों पार्ट्स एक साथ करना. लिटरली बहुत से बच्चे क्या करते हैं, पहले 2 पार्ट्स एक जगह, बाद के 2 पार्ट्स बाद में. आई वुड से दैट एक क्वेश्चन के सारे पार्ट्स एक साथ करना. एंड दैट्स जस्ट फ्रॉम माय साइड. And just all the points are added by my co-members and co-panelists only.